And on the next Judge Judy.
My opinion's the only one that counts.
I feel like it was unfair.
I'm very happy with it. I'm thankful that she was able to look at the facts and, make a judgment that'll help me get the majority of the money that I had to spend back.
I was worried about him.
I guess I really didn't know them as well as I thought I did when I moved in.
When my fridge got ripped out of the wall and thrown across the apartment.
That was a night where I did have a little too much to drink, and I apologize for that, and I did pay for that fridge.
Just never do it again.
I'll never have roommates again.
This is ABC 7 News at 6.
4 days into the war with Iran, and the strikes are escalating across the region. President Trump fielded questions for the first time since deciding to launch strikes on Iran. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. He and other administration officials have offered mixed messaging, though, to justify the war. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the latest from Washington.
Today, for the first time since giving the U.S. military the okay to strike Iran, President Trump publicly took questions from reporters. ABC's Rachel Scott asked the president if Israel forced his hand, to which he said no, insisting Iran was a threat.
I think they were going to attack first, and I didn't want that to happen. So if anything, I might have forced Israel's hand. But Israel was ready and we were ready.
That contradicts what Secretary of State Marco Rubio said just yesterday, that Israel was planning on attacking Iran's regime with or without the U.S.
If we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties.
The administration's mixed messaging is brewing frustration among Democratic and some Republican lawmakers on Capitol Hill.
Which one is it, Donald Trump? Regime change, nuclear weapons, missiles, an imminent threat to the homeland, or a preemptive strike to stop future attacks on the region?
Regarding the thousands of American tourists now stranded across the Middle East, the State Department tells ABC News it's working on securing military aircraft and charter flights for U.S. citizens, for now urging people like Oliver Sims in Doha to get out as soon as possible.
I know that officials have said, use commercial means, but there are really no commercial means here for us to use.
Trump was asked why there wasn't an evacuation plan for Americans in the Middle East ahead of the strikes. He responded, "It all happened very quickly." Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Well, here at home, there is no doubt the situation in Iran is already impacting gas prices. Gas Buddy's head of petroleum analysis, Patrick DeHaan, says there are a number of OPEC members in the Middle East and a finite number of ways to get the oil to customers. He says all the countries rely on the Strait of Hormuz, and Iran has already made threats and attacked one ship. According to DeHaan, Iran has essentially undermined the stability of that area.
It's a real and credible threat that has to be taken seriously, which is why, in essence now, hundreds of ships have dropped anchor in the Persian Gulf awaiting what the next move may look like. And the ripple effect has been dramatic on the price of oil, which has jumped by over $10 a barrel over the weekend.
DeHaan says there is no crystal ball to see what will happen in the future, but he doesn't expect the price increases will be record-setting. However, he says he believes prices will go up another 15 to 30 cents a gallon over the next week or two. In other news, a controversial bill that would redefine the way public institutions work with immigration and customs enforcement has advanced in the legislature. Our Callie Warren joins us now live in studio with more information on that. And Callie, how would this bill impact these public spaces?
Well, Beth, LD 2106 would, if passed as amended, create language preventing employees at public facilities from providing non-public documents to law enforcement officers. These public facilities are being defined as state-run institutions. That includes public libraries, public schools, and state-owned hospitals, including Dorothea Dix Psychiatric Center here in Bangor. This bill directs the Maine Attorney General's office to provide a required policy for those public institutions and an optional policy for some private facilities. Those private facilities could include places like hospitals, daycares, and worship centers. Now, this would mean that those public spaces have to refuse to provide private information to federal officers, while private institutions would get an option. This bill is proving contentious. Bill sponsor Representative Ellie Sato of Gorham released a statement saying in part, quote, "While ICE maintains a presence in Maine, this legislation will help reduce violence in our schools, libraries, and hospitals, and strengthen our state's commitment to upholding the rights of Maine people," end quote. We also spoke with Representative Jennifer Poirier of Skowhegan, who opposes this bill. She said in part, quote, "Our feeling on this is that this is based off of a false feeling of fear. Impeding law enforcement to keep us safe is not a good thing in my mind," end quote. This bill was advanced by the legislature's Judiciary Committee last week after several amendments. It now faces further votes in the House and Senate. We'll bring you more information and reaction later this evening. Beth?
Callie, thank you for that update. Meanwhile, an Aroostook County man is challenging his murder conviction. 41-year-old Jamie Schnackenberg of Monticello is currently serving a 55-year sentence after being convicted of killing Kimberly Hardy in 2023. Hardy was shot twice in the back of the head. During his trial, Schnackenberg claimed Hardy was killed in self-defense. In oral arguments before the Maine Supreme Judicial Court today, his lawyers said the trial court made a legal error by excluding the victim's toxicology results and challenged the decision to allow pictures that showed her head injuries.
The evidence at trial compelled the conclusion that Jamie Schnackenberg committed the ultimate act of domestic violence by shooting Kim Hardy, his long-term live-in girlfriend, twice in the back of the head because she was leaving him and taking the cat, and then concealing his crime in his futile attempt to clean her blood from the kitchen, wrapping her lifeless body in layers of tarp and garbage bags held together with duct tape, prior to dumping it off on a remote logging road.
The court will make its decision on the appeal at a later date. As we inch closer to the upcoming elections, more candidates are turning in the necessary signatures to get their names on the ballot. Republican candidate David Jones has announced he has gathered enough signatures for Maine's gubernatorial race. He was joined by supporters at the State House today before turning in his signatures to the Secretary of State's office. Jones emphasized that he is a seasoned businessman and real estate broker who is running for governor with a mission to raise the standard of living for Mainers and prioritize auditing Maine's finances.
I'm not a guy who says he's going to do something and not do it. If I make a commitment to you and I say yes, you can bet your bottom dollar it means yes. And I will do everything I can to work as hard and as smart as you would ever want a governor to do.
On a related note, a candidate in Maine's highly contested 2nd Congressional District race has also achieved this milestone. Democratic candidate Matt Dunlap officially filed his nomination petitions to appear on the ballot in the Democratic primary for Maine's 2nd Congressional District. Dunlap, a former Maine Secretary of State and current state auditor, says he is running on a people's agenda that includes Medicare for all, universal child care, living wages, and protecting democracy. According to Dunlap, he is the first on either side of the race to file his signatures.
It expands quite a bit when you start blowing it out to about 1,000 signatures, or statewide for 2,000. So something you want to be on top of, and we were. It's good to be the first one to file in the second CD race. So now we can focus on the next part, which is actually the primary.
Well, Republican leadership gathered today at the State House to deliver the news that the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services has denied the Mills administration's request for more time to investigate claims of fraud within MaineCare. Maine House Minority Leader Billy Bob Fockingham says the remaining records that were supposed to be submitted are now due and audits continue. He says federal officials cited the urgent need to protect taxpayer dollars, preventing delays in oversight, and serious concerns about program integrity as reasons to deny the request. Fockingham says those audits have turned up numerous issues, including missing documents and cloned records.
The Office of the Inspector General is concerned because the federal OIG identified $45.6 million in improper payments to autism services. Every sample, as we've said, every sample, 100 out of 100 contained errors.
Fockingham also said the problems within the main care system are going to cause a ripple effect through the state's budget, but so far Republicans say they've not yet seen those concerns addressed.
We still have seen nothing of this in any of the budget proposals and any of the supplemental proposals, but the federal government is telling the state of Maine that almost $29 million is due back to the federal government.
Fockingham told reporters at that press conference that Maine Care consumes 25 to 30% of the state's budget. And now we'll stop for a first look at our forecast.
Thank you, Beth. Many of us have been seeing the increasing clouds throughout the day today, and we're already starting to see some snow make its way down to the very southwestern portion of the state. Many of us will be having snow showers likely throughout the night, especially here in the Bangor and coastal regions, as you see for highs today. We did reach above freezing, 37 here in town, same for Millinocket and Holton. Almost saw 40 up in Presque Isle out there for today, while the rest of us hung out in the mid-30s as you head down into the Stanford and Portland area, where that snow is beginning to fall out there now. And as we see for tonight, snow is going to be likely here in the Bangor and coastal regions. Does look to stretch north into the Millinocket area as well, but snowfall will be much lighter up there for you. The main areas are going to see the heaviest of snowfall throughout tonight will be along the coastline down into the southwestern portion of the state, but that'll be out of here in a hurry. Will be done snowing by the early morning hours, and by your Wednesday afternoon, going to be much warmer. Partly cloudy skies are going to most likely melt a lot of that snow that we're receiving out there for tonight. So again, snow is likely, but we will see the clouds begin to break up towards the early morning hours, allowing for those lows to fall down into the low to mid-20s. Beth?
Chase, thank you so much, and there is more of your local news just ahead.
Hi, I'm Tony Hafford from TC Hafford Basement Systems, the all things basement-y company. Basement waterproofing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. Since 1991, over 15,000 Maine homeowners have trusted TC Hafford Basement Systems to fix their basements. Call TC Hafford Basement Systems today for all things basement-y.
A sharp pain in his chest. He knew it was his heart, but 2 hours from the big city hospital could tragically mean the end. But it wasn't. Thanks to Senator Susan Collins' tireless fight for Maine's rural hospitals. Because of Senator Collins' work, his local hospital had recently received up-to-date diagnostic equipment and upgraded facilities, all paid for with new federal funding. Lives are being saved. Call and thank our Senator Susan Collins for delivering this lifeline for Maine.
Bring your new kitchen to life with help from the Kitchen, Bath, and Flooring Division by Hammond Lumber Company. Bring in your ideas or get inspired by Hammond's extensive showroom displays. Your Hammond sales rep will help you create a materials list and cost estimate, and Hammond's designers will help you visualize your space before the work begins. And Hammond delivers from 34 locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Your new kitchen begins when you bring your vision to Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
The Sylvia Ross Home in Bangor provides 5 professional levels of care and support for residents. We have access to a registered nurse on campus 24/7. Our weekly entertainment consists of a variety of live musical performances and bingo games twice a week. Our on-site beauty salon is available with a professional stylist, and we have 2 libraries that offer computers and Wi-Fi. Sylvia Ross Home is a warm, welcoming community. Please join us anytime for a tour and lunch.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. More than 8,000 Mainers receive a cancer diagnosis each year. That is according to advocates who are now urging Maine lawmakers to support proposals that would help address financial barriers to health care. This as the cost of medical care is expected to rise nationwide. Our Grace Blanchard has more.
Volunteers with the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network are rallying behind 2 bills this session that aim to address the needs of patients across the cancer continuum.
Patients deserve access and coverage to the things that are going to get them the best possible care at the best possible time.
One of those bills, LD 107, would require health insurance coverage for biomarker testing, a critical tool that helps determine treatments for patients.
It's absolutely life-saving. It is incredibly helpful available not just for cancer, but for other diseases. So it is critical that Mainers have access to this.
The other bill they are pushing for, LD 2129, aims to protect patients from medical debt repercussions for their homes or the garnishing of wages.
It's not a financial literacy failing to get sick. You don't deserve to lose your wages or your home because you have an illness that was unexpected and not covered.
That was a very real fear for volunteer Shauna Ackley after her breast cancer diagnosis in 2021.
I was in my recovery chair looking up resources, grants. I didn't want to lose my house to this. Nobody thinks that they're going to go through cancer, especially at 38, raising a young child.
The biomarker testing bill passed both chambers last session, but its implementation is on hold pending funding allocation. Advocates say the medical debt bill received overwhelming support in committee, but must now face both chambers.
If you are facing these obstacles, battles, down the road, we need to have this safety net for everyone.
In Augusta, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, our Jody Hersey was in Dover Foxcroft, where the Piscataquis Area Community Center is asking for public support in a unique way to keep the community's pool afloat.
You heard it was a hit. You heard it was a smash. A wonder. A phenomenon. An international sensation. But you haven't heard them.
March 16 at the Cross Insurance Center. Get your tickets today.
I had a slip and fall accident. I wasn't sure what to do. Joe Bornstein's office handled everything. The experience was much better than what I expected. They were very professional and responsive to all my questions and concerns. I highly recommend the law offices of Joe Bornstein. Over 25,000 victories for injured Mainers just like me. If you've been injured in an accident, call Joe. It's that easy. Tell him you mean business.
Call Joe today for a free case evaluation. There's never a fee unless you win.
What's happening at the Penobscot Ice Arena?
Youth hockey leagues. Public skating. Stick and puck. Birthday party.
Adult hockey leagues.
Frozen Friday laser light skate.
Lace up your skates today at Penobscot Ice Arena in Brewer. For more information, visit penobscoticearena.com.
Are you experiencing foot pain? Comfort Shoes & More has a team of experts trained in pet orthics to help you find relief. They offer tailored fittings, shoe modifications, customized orthotics, and much more for the ordinary or for the hard-to-fit foot, with fashionable and functional footwear from today's top brands: Hoka, Brooks, Keen, Teva, Taos, Ufus, and Birkenstocks. From running to walking, casual or dress, they have it all. Take the drive to Newport for a sit and fit to find your perfect fit. You and your feet will be glad you did.
ABC 7 and Fox 22's Jack Webb named Maine's Sportscaster of the Year by the National Sports Media Association.
Welcome back in, folks. The Maine women's basketball team is playoff bound. They'll kick things off Thursday against rival UNH. Our Max Sturm caught up with the Black Bears to talk about the matchup.
You know what the urgency is with that game.
Momentum is one of the driving forces behind any great playoff run. And the Maine women's basketball team certainly has it on their side as they enter the America East tournament as the conference's number 2 seed. The Black Bears earned that spot with 2 big wins last week versus Albany and Binghamton. And with the regular season winding down, the players understood what was at stake.
It's just about finishing on a high note. Like, we knew what the stakes were, but we also knew, like, it's a basketball game. We have to get ready for playoffs, really polish up a bunch of things, and we were able to do that. And to me, I felt like Saturday was kind of like a championship, like playoff vibe.
Obviously, we know we have later games in the week, but we got to focus on what's right in front of us and just take it one play at a time, one game at a time.
Locking up the 2 seed ensures the Black Bears a home playoff game in the opening round. an advantage they know is huge for the team in an elimination game.
It just makes a big difference, and I think we've had our last 3 games have been great games, really competitive, high intensity, and I think really we were able to pull them all off because they were at home and we were able to have that atmosphere.
It doesn't go unnoticed, the people in the crowd. It's a great feeling to have them support you. Having them here, it's helps us defensively and gets us going.
That crowd will surely be rowdy in Orono on Thursday when the Black Bears take on perennial rival UNH in the first round. After 2 matchups with the Wildcats this season, Maine knows what it'll take to get the job done.
They've been playing really well, their team. I mean, when they played here, they had a lot of other kids step up and hit shots. So we're going to have to, while we have to lock in on her, play a total team defensive game.
As long as we show up and do what we need to do, we'll be okay. But, you know, we got to focus on what we can control.
They have a lot of great scores and great action, but this is our 3rd time playing them. You know, we know what they look like, they know what we look like. I think it just, in next playoffs, it comes down to who wants it more.
Maine will tip off on Thursday at 6 p.m. In Orono, Max Sturm, ABC 7 and Fox 22 Sports.
Thank you for that, Max. We stay with basketball and move to Boston, where the Celtics are coming off back-to-back wins after beating down the Milwaukee Bucks Monday night in Milwaukee. After pulling into Milwaukee at 4 a.m., along with no Jaylen Brown and Neemias Queta, it seemed like a recipe for a loss, but once again, the Celtic reserve picked up the slack as all 5 starters scored in double digits. The most notable of the group was headlined by a career night from rookie Hugo Gonzalez, who capped his night with a double-double, racking up 18 points and 16 rebounds in the win. Here's what the 19-year-old rookie had to say after the win.
The work ethic is there. I just try to keep doing what you're doing. I keep trusting. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect. Obviously, it's not going to be like today every single day. But, you know, trust the work and thank the teammates that were having great defenses. And I was able to have some rebounds, and that's it. That's basically it. Some great passes and cuttings, and that's it. Yes, just keep following the work ethic that we're doing and keep following this path that we're in a great shape right now for keep competing.
The future is bright for that 19-year-old. For now, that's all the time we have for sports. Here is your full 5-day forecast.
Thank you, Jack. A lot of increasing clouds out there for today, but we did still warm up above freezing, looking at 37 here in Bangor. We saw that in Millinock and Holton as well. Check out Presque Isle, almost near 40 degrees this afternoon, but the rest of us along our coastline, down into the southwestern portion state where the cloud cover was a bit more thicker for you today, hanging out in the mid-30s, and now we are back below freezing with chances for snow out there for tonight. You're going to see those lows by the early morning hours fall down into the low to mid-20s because clouds will be decreasing for a short while during that time. You're going to see that all across the state, even up north, mid to upper 20s for those lows tonight, and even down into the southwestern portion of the state as well, because a lot of us will be dealing with this low pressure system passing by. But the snow we received tonight most likely will melt away for tomorrow as those highs are reaching into the mid-40s here in Bangor, especially along your coastline down into the Portland area, where it will be a bit cooler further north, where you have less chances for snow out there tonight. Low to mid-30s for highs for you tomorrow afternoon, and our average high right around 36 degrees, looking to be about 10 degrees above that for tomorrow, but we'll fall back closer to average throughout your Thursday and the Friday as we cool off for a bit. But then we really warm up, as you see throughout your weekend, getting close to 50 on Sunday and being above that, low to mid 50s for your Monday into Tuesday. So starting to get more of that spring-like weather back into the forecast. So winds a little breezy out there now. You're seeing 14 miles per hour sustained, gusting near 20 to 25 at times. Some areas seeing gusts near 30. But as we continue into tonight, those winds are going to die down, staying light and variable throughout the night into tomorrow as well. So here comes the snow for, throughout tonight. Going to be falling from 9 p.m. to midnight shortly after that as well. But once we get to that 5 o'clock hour in the early morning hours, that snow will be done and we'll see lots of sunshine heading into your Wednesday, especially here in the Bangor and coastal region. It's going to have a few clouds further north, keeping you cooler for tomorrow. But yes, we are going to warm up into the 40s, which is going to melt that snow that we received. Again, many of us looking at that 1 to 3 inch range for snowfall with some locally higher amounts down to the southwest. As we head into your Thursday, a cold front is going to arrive from the north for your Wednesday night into your Thursday, bringing some chances for some more scattered snow showers. As we head into your Thursday afternoon with temperatures back above freezing again, we can see a slight chance for some rain and snow out there, otherwise staying dry with the cloudy skies here in the Bangor and coastal regions. So For tonight, we got lows in the low 20s. Snow is likely, but many of us looking at that 1 to 3 inch range, with some areas reaching near 4 to possibly 5 inches down to the southwest. Winds will be calm out there for tonight after a bit of a breeze out there for today, but then tomorrow, many of us going to melt the snow that we see out there for tonight with highs in the mid 40s. Partly cloudy skies out there with winds from the west, only right around 5 to 10 miles per hour. So here's a look at our extended forecast. We do have that slight chance for rain and snow again for your Thursday. Highs will be in the upper 30s then, continuing to cool off into your Friday right around the mid 30s, but then jumping back up into the low to mid 40s with a chance for rain and snow showers Saturday. We'll see rain become more likely Saturday night, but still drying out Sunday with highs back near 50 degrees.
What matters more? A bank with innovative products or one that cares for the community? At Bangor Savings Bank, we think it's both because our innovation helps customers build stronger credit, earn rewards when shopping local, give teens independence and financial experience, and simplify business with local solutions. So what matters more? You.
I'm Jim with Lowry Law. A husband and wife called me after they were hit by a drunk driver. We got them a $400,000 settlement they were able to use for their retirement. Call me. I'm your go-to guy.
More rain is expected today.
More snow is being reported.
When conditions get more severe, you can feel safe driving any one of Toyota's 23 all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive models, which is more than Honda, Subaru, or Jeep. Like the style-to-be-wild turbocharged Tacoma with a ruggedly refined interior and advanced technology. Toyota gives you more all-wheel drive choices, giving you more reason to see your New England Toyota dealer. Your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
Keep your feet on the ground, they said. So many people have told you you can't. They say you don't listen. So you don't listen to them. You rise to your moment. It feels like every idea is crystal clear. It feels like every line, every angle is perfect. It feels like you are at the top of your game with high-speed, reliable, no-stress Fidium fiber internet.
It feels like Fidium.
Huckleberry's Card and Gift has a wide selection of puzzles for the entire family. Local items, including raised mustard and scone mix from the Scone Goddess, jewelry, town signs, coffee mugs, and much more. Located in front of the Brewer City Hall.
Finally tonight, the Piscataquis Area Community Center is looking for 365 generous people to donate $100 a day to keep the area's only pool open. Our Jody Hersey reports.
This former YMCA in Dover-Foxcroft shut down abruptly in 2024. When it reopened in 2025 as the Piscataquis Area Community Center, or PAC, it had a new look and a new goal to keep the building open as often as possible. In order to do so, the nonprofit has been raising funds and accepting help from volunteers to ensure the facility, with its weight room, fitness classes, and pool, is in tip-top shape.
So this year's been very, very expensive, but we've made all the changes that hopefully for the longevity of the building are really going to keep operating expenses down.
One of the biggest expenses and the last area of the facility to reopen has been the pool. It was sandblasted down to the concrete and repainted before it was finally able to welcome members back into the water just weeks ago.
Being the only pool in Piscataquis County, I think the community really understands that this is important to a lot of people.
Now the PAC has created a fundraiser to cover this much-loved amenity.
So we're doing 365 donations, $100 each. That's roughly what it costs to operate the pool per day, just for heat and electricity. So far we have 73 donations, but they're spaced out throughout the year. So we've got like the first 8 days of March completely covered, and then so still looking to take some more donations to fill those gaps.
Guilford artist and swimmer Tracy Padron has been donating her time and talents to help make the PAC welcoming to all that come through the doors.
I want them to come in and love this place and talk about this place and go, have you seen that yet? Have you been there? What was here was good, but I think this is so much better.
In Dover-Foxcroft, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And we have donation information in this story on our website, foxbangor.com. That's going to do it for us, folks. Take care and have a great night. And if you'd like to, you can join us over on Fox 22 News tonight at 6:30.
Tonight, the war in Iran. The American service members killed. What we've learned. A U.S. embassy struck. The sudden warning. Americans told to leave the Middle East. Plus, the threat here at home and gas prices now surging. More Americans turn to world news.
Money.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
You understand that. You got your job done. You got your job done for what you originally contracted for, which was about $3,600. It didn't cost you any more money to have your house painted. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
I can't direct them. I have no authority to direct them to remove a lien.
We're not
from
going
your
to do it. There's no way.
From your house. You may have to get a lawyer and go into court and challenge the lien. But I'm dismissing their case.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I find that you had just cause to fire them based upon the photographs that I've seen and the fact that I see no motive for you to hire somebody else and pay them the exact same amount of money, and the job took that much longer than you had anticipated. So I'm dismissing your case. We're done. Thank you.
Your Honor.
Step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
My opinion's the only one that counts.
I think it was great.
The pictures didn't match up.
They did do sloppy work, and they're a horrible company.
All I can say is, Christina Lacey, you reap what you sow.
So if you're in Prattville, Alabama, don't do J&K painting.
We're going to start taking pictures after pictures after pictures.
This is Fox 22 News Tonight.
The U.S. and Israel are maintaining relentless attacks on Iran. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. This is the State Department begins mobilizing resources to evacuate Americans from the region. Fox's Caroline Shively reports.
As the fighting ramps up, so does the urgency to get Americans out of the Middle East. Smoke rising in Tehran as the U.S. and Israel keep pounding Iran with airstrikes. The IDF on Tuesday confirmed a strike on Iran's leadership complex, killing multiple officials who were in the process of selecting the next supreme leader. Meanwhile, the U.S. is taking out Iran's missile sites and military facilities.
You're going to really begin to perceive a change in the scope and in the intensity of these attacks as, frankly, the two most powerful air forces in the world take apart